Hey, what's poppin', people? We back at it. It's your man Jimmy V with another episode of Straight Topics. I know y'all are looking at me like, why is he in between two white people over here? It's all good. I'm not getting arrested or anything like that. These are my homies. These are the founders of Symba Marketing, which is a, make sure I get this right, digital advertising company.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Woo, I'm on point today. But let me introduce them over here. We have Daniel Kiani. Kiani. He is originally from Alabama, so Alabama stand up. Whoop whoop. We got my man Nate the Great, repping Pennsylvania right here, and welcome guys to the show.
Appreciate you having me, bro.
Today's topic, we talking about entrepreneurship as well as the whole digital advertising, because you guys are the guys that can let us know all about it. I just want to share how we were able to meet, because I think that's a perfect example to transition into what you guys actually do.
You know, how Jimmy and I, met. I believe, I stumbled across your page one day on the Discover section on Instagram.
On the gram.
Yeah, on the gram. And I was like, man, yo, Jimmy, be your own dad. Like, I saw your brand. I just saw so much, opportunity. I saw so much potential. And I saw that you had, your shit put together. Mm-hmm. And that's what really stood out to me. So, really, what did I do? I sent you, an Instagram DM.
That's right. Slid in the DMs. Yep.
And really from there, we just connected, started talking about, things that we were both passionate about. Gary V, Eric Thomas, motivation, and whenever we start talking about things like that, that's when things just,
we just get riled up. Exactly. Man.
So then I believe we did a phone call, and that was pretty much it.
Let me get an idea of how you guys linked up.
Yeah, so at the time we were, helping launch this international travel and adventure club, and we had an event in Bend, Oregon. It was like an adventure race. You have teams, you have a big list of tasks you have to complete. So we met at the event. We kind of connected, hey, what's good,
Dope.
And stuff like that, and exchanged numbers. And then, from there on, we didn't really become too close until a few months after that. I had actually left the venture 2 months after the event, and then Nate followed suit 2 months after I left. But he hit me up while I was about to board a flight, and he sent me a Snapchat voice message.
Yeah.
And he was just saying hey man, let's get reconnected. Let's catch up. Let's see how things are doing. Let's see what we can
Nate's
work
good
on.
with that. Huh?
He's good. He's good at catching up.
I see Nate. Yeah.
He's good at it. He just sent me that snap, and we started talking from there, seeing what we could do together. And at the time, I was building a company that was really heavily involved in the digital marketing space.
Yeah.
And so, after talking more and more, I just figured, hey, why don't we just start a company together? That way, I'll learn a lot about digital marketing, and in the process, we're gonna have built a big, prosperous company together. So. From there on, we just started hustling, and there's been ups, there's been downs, but we've made it so far. It's 1 year anniversary today.
As a startup, is it what you guys expected?
Yeah, I'd say, of course, any journey, especially in marketing or entrepreneurial, unless you're handed something, it's a roller coaster to say the least. Mm-hmm. And I'd say over 2017, I like to call that the year of growth, of course. And that's the thing, you're always going to keep growing, right?
Facts.
No matter what, if it's a company, if it's, your brand, there's always room for improvement. Daniel and I, we tend to be a bit, perfectionists, which can also, come into play and cause things to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say difficult, but I'd say a little bit more, complex, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, it's definitely, it's been the journey so far, and I'm just excited for what 2018 has to offer.
How do you guys deal with the workload?
7 days of the week, it's pretty much, it's work. We really don't take, many days off. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, every now and again we might take, I guess you can call a rest day, if that's what you want to call it. But
right.
We're really we work, as much as we can. Especially, Daniel over here, he really likes to, put in the long hours. He really doesn't get as much sleep, to say the least, and he really works his butt off over there. Yeah. And man, it's just 24/7 really. The grind never stops.
For anybody out there that's not familiar with exactly what you guys do, let them know exactly what your company can do and potentially for their brand.
The main thing that we do is simple. We help other companies bring in sales through digital advertising. And the way we do it, you know, we utilize social media, of course, which, you know,
Facebook,
it's logical,
Instagram,
exactly,
yeah.
because everyone is on their phones nowadays. No
Fact.
one's driving by looking at billboards. Most of the time when people are driving,
Right.
what are they looking at? Their phones.
Their
So
phone, that's
if you're
true.
putting up billboards, if you're putting up newspaper ads, and, you know, those are more obsolete forms of marketing, which they're still effective in some cases, but we found the most effective thing to be through, you know, Google PPC campaign or through running Instagram ads. So we really specialize in just one simple mission, which is bringing in more sales through digital marketing.
The old type of advertisement, like you said, man, billboards, paper ads, commercials on TV. Obviously, what we got going on now is changing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, is this type of advertisement, is it going to take away everything else?
Yeah, you know, I'd say it definitely has the possibility to do so. You know, I look at, like, you know, Daniel was saying about billboards. Billboards, I mean, what is it? You know, 1 out of every 5 people literally have, like, their phones, like, in the car driving, right? And it's like, you know, you're going down the road, you see a billboard. I mean, who has time to look at that? Billboards don't track analytics, right? Like Facebook, Instagram, like, you know, Google PPC, you know, SEO, search engine optimization, like that stuff can actually track what's going on, whether it's on your website, whether it's on social media. I mean, you got guys today, influencers, that literally make thousands of dollars. I mean,
They do.
Selena Gomez, I think it's like she makes $1 million per Instagram post. Like, what? It's insane.
That's insane, yes.
Yeah, and that's not even her job. Like, somebody can literally offer
That's
her
a
that.
side hustle.
I'm telling you, man. So just the possibility, I mean, the next 5 to 10 years, I'd say, you know, you're still going to be seeing, of course, commercials. That's always going to be a big thing. Super Bowl, you know, Super Bowl's coming up.
Super Bowl's big.
Yeah, Super Bowl commercials. Now, you know, that time, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it's, of course, extremely expensive to run a Super Bowl ad.
The number one time to run any type of ad is during the Super Bowl because so many eyes are on the TV. And people, too, they watch the game for either 2 things. They either like the game or they like the commercials.
It's true.
Either one of the 2.
If you're advertising, and of course you got a big budget, like, yeah, of course you're gonna want to run it during, you know, the Super Bowl because everybody's watching, right, all around the world and things like that. And I just think, you know, the years to come, you're gonna see, you know, of course, the old advertising, it's gonna slowly fade, and I mean, it is slowly fading, right? You got, like I said, the Instagram influencing marketing, you know, Facebook advertising, and then, you know, some of the other, you know, ways as well with, like, just online and social media advertising, like, that right there, that's gonna be the normal. And I mean, I can only imagine, you know, what's gonna be coming years ahead of us.
The phone has changed the game so much. Example, I'm recording this on my phone. You know what I'm saying? And that just shows you, as time goes by, you got to adapt to what's going on and take advantage of it. If anybody were to want to reach out to you guys to get more information, how can they do that?
Yeah, we have an Instagram page at Symba Marketing.
Yeah.
Also on our website, we have a thing that pops up as soon as you scroll down a quarter of the page. You can submit a form to our support team, which will get forwarded on to us to, you know, sort through any requests for business or things like that, consultation. Yeah. So, you know, really through Instagram is one of the biggest tools for communication with us. That's how people can easily access us because the DMs come straight to us because we're the admins of the Instagram page along with our social media manager. So any social platform really, if you can find Symba Marketing, we're gonna hear your requests.
How much did you guys have to spend to start your own company? Because a lot of people, they have it so confused. They think it takes thousands of dollars. They think they need this and that, you know. Anybody out there wanted to start up their own company, what did you guys have to do to actually get this in motion?
Well, I mean, really one of the main costs when starting a company, of course, is you need to form your LLC or your S-Corp, whatever you choose to form.
That's right.
That was really one of the bigger costs for us when starting, and then of course with our whole branding in terms of like the logo, business cards, t-shirts, things like that. T-shirts aren't really necessary to starting a company, but
Right, that's like later on down the line.
yeah, exactly. But just with all the stuff, it was very minimal cost. Most of the stuff is online.
Yeah.
We don't have like a physical office sitting somewhere, so there's no overhead really, except for paying monthly for the softwares and things like that. But with all the traveling we've done, with all the investments we've made into educational content such as books, mentors, going to seminars, things like that. The investment does add up, but as the investment adds up, so does the return.
That's right.
The more you're willing to invest, the
what
more
you
you're
put
willing
in,
to
you
lose.
get out.
Exactly.
Facts.
Absolutely right.
I forgot to actually mention, your boy has his first official product on deck, as you guys can see, building my empire. I'm excited. Came up with the idea, building my empire. So if you are out there building your empire as well, wake up in the morning. If you have a bad hair day or if you're just lazy, put on your hat and get to it. You guys definitely want to get into any type of digital advertising. I do vouch for them. Let's get into you guys as people.
Yeah, of course.
That's the business side. We got that out the way. You know what I'm saying? Nate and Daniel here. So what's one thing you guys are enjoying most about California right now?
Yeah, I'd say definitely the beautiful weather. Coming from Pennsylvania, it's right now, I believe it's in the 30 degrees.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, it wasn't a single digits like in the 5 degrees and things like that, but definitely the weather for sure.
Got you.
It's just a different vibe here. You come here and it's a lot less stressed and fast paced as the East Coast. So it's kind of nice to just have that change of tempo where people are more relaxed, laid back. East Coast is always go go go, and then here it's just very laid back.
Very
so
true.
this is where more creativity comes from rather than just constantly pushing through.
It does, yeah. Like I was speaking with one of my boys back home, and I was just letting him know there's a different energy in the air when it comes to creativity over here.
Yeah.
Compared to back home. That's why it's hard for me to get the creating back home, just because I can't bounce that energy off of anybody else. I got 160 questions here.
Okay.
Right? So what I like to do for my guests, I'm gonna have you choose 3, and I'm gonna have you choose 3, but you guys will both answer the question, okay? So the people can get to actually know you guys. So Nate, give me a number from 1 to 160.
I gotta stick with lucky number 7.
Everybody picked 7. You don't understand. This is the 3rd person that picked 7.
Yep.
If you don't believe me, go check the other episodes. But 7, what pets have you had?
Oh man, pets, I've had cats.
Cats?
Cats, I've had
Simple.
a rabbit, and just cats and a rabbit.
Okay. You?
I've had several pets because I have several siblings, so they've had anywhere from goldfish to frogs, rabbits, dogs, cats.
Goldfish always die. I think
My favorite
I
pet,
like goldfish.
the one that I actually considered mine, was a Siberian Husky named Togo.
Oh, a dog?
Dog.
Oh, okay. Nah, yeah. The Huskies are dope because they always remind me of like wolves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've always wanted them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me get a number.
11.
11. Okay. Y'all sticking low. What's your favorite international food?
Oh man, I'd have to say it is Shuzhou Chow Mein, which is fried noodles from a city called Shuzhou, which is in the Jiangsu province of China. It's this little hole-in-the-wall place. It literally costs like 8 yuans, which is like $1.50 for a huge bowl of noodles. And the first time I went, I was a little sketched out. I walked in, I was like, I'm not eating here. But
Right.
turns out those are the best noodles I've had in my life.
It
So,
was bomb. Have you ever had Chinese food from the East Coast?
yes, I have. Living in New York for a few
East Coast,
months
I gotcha.
is, definitely had some Chinese food. Of course, in Chinatown, which that's basically legit, but it is a bit different. It's a bit different than the real thing.
Yeah,
So.
I miss it.
I stick with, of course, Chinese food for sure. Like going to the hibachi grills and things
Hibachi,
like that.
yeah, that's dope.
I know,
With the fire. Isn't it interesting how immigrants from, say, China, right? They come over here to start their own restaurants, and they build it up, and they employ their family. But what they do is they always send money back to their family. But what they don't know is they're actually entrepreneurs themselves, because they just took what they did back home and did it over here.
That's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's just crazy.
That's a lot,
It's on Nate? Yeah,
Yep.
it's on Nate.
Let's do 77.
77, okay.
Yep.
You sticking with them sevens,
There
Nate.
we are.
Ooh, okay. All modesty aside, that's when you know some shit's about to go down, but all right. What are you better at than 90% of people? It doesn't have to be useful or serious. It can be something ridiculous.
Okay. I would definitely have to say I'm really good at listening, for sure. And I say that in a humble way. Like, I'm not saying that like, yo, I'm the best listener there is. Like,
Right.
I personally myself, I love listening to other people and what they have to say, especially if it comes to somebody's story. Like, I love going deeper. I love finding that deeper version of somebody
why.
else. Exactly. The why is everything. And
Shout out to Eric Thomas.
yeah, shout out to ET.
E.T. legit. A lot of people, they stick on the surface.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they don't even want to dive in deep because it might bring up things in the past that they're ashamed of, afraid of, or like make them cry, like whatever the case.
Yeah.
But what they don't understand, the more you go deeper, the more you become stronger inside because you start to understand why you act a certain way.
Absolutely.
Ooh, we sound like philosophers up in here,
We get
man.
deep in here.
I would have to say definitely taking a very complex idea and making it simple for anyone to understand. And the reason is because I help a lot of people as well with entrepreneurship, with getting started in business, and some, idealizations and some concepts are just very complex. Like there's several layers and it gets very deep. So you might lose them on the way. So my best thing would be to push it all together in the example of a story or a situation and place them inside of it and just give them like a real-time example of that. That way they can actually get like a hands-on experience level with it so that they understand it better. And to do that, definitely requires being able to like read them, which is something else I would have to say that is a big part of this. So just being able to read that person and see what would appeal to them. That way you can actually teach them something that they learned.
Dope. Another number.
111.
Ooh, okay. Now we rising up, right? What's your go-to series or movie when you want to watch something but can't find anything to watch?
Ooh, well, fun fact about me, I've never actually finished an entire movie series. I did get 5 episodes into House of Cards, and
And then
I
you
thought
stopped?
it was a big accomplishment. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I went out of
okay.
town,
Okay.
and got off track, but I would have to say movies, definitely Interstellar is one movie that I can watch over and over again and not
That was a
get
dope
bored of
one.
it.
Right, I would definitely have to say, and it's funny, you got Rocky up there. I'm a
Yeah.
big Rocky Balboa fan.
Okay.
I've literally watched that movie like so many times. My favorite one, I'd have to say, is Rocky 4. Of course.
If he dies, he dies.
Right? Yeah, the Russian. Ivan Drago.
Oh man, he was a beast, but yeah.
he was. But I definitely, the Rocky movies, they're just so motivating.
Yeah.
And it gets you off your seat, and you really just want to like take action. So,
Yeah.
for
So
sure,
true.
Rocky.
Let's do 70.
70. Y'all in 70. What's the most essential part of a friendship? Ooh, what's the most essential part of a regular friendship and a business relationship?
Well, to kind of merge those two together into one word, I would definitely say communication. For business relationship, you definitely want each other to be up to date with everything that's going on. That way one person isn't pursuing one idea and the other person pursuing another one, because something could be completed, something could be different, but if the other business partner isn't aware yet, then they could be working on something when you're like, oh, I already did that, or oh, we don't need that anymore. So that's for business. For normal friendship, definitely communication, which is because of trust. To have a normal friendship, you want to communicate, because the more you open up to someone, the more they're going to trust you. Like if people can, feel your insecurities, feel your weak points, not only your strong points, that's when they're really going to trust you. So just opening up to people, being realistic, being relatable, that's a huge key to trust in any friendship, business or regular.
Facts after that.
Authenticity, being real,
Yeah.
in the other terms, because that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of people, in this world that unfortunately don't have like a sense of realness to them, and you can sense that. And I'm the type of person, just like Daniel and yourself, Jimmy. Like, you know, we can really go off of somebody's like vibe.
Vibe.
We can really,
Energy.
Exactly. Energy is everything, and
Yeah.
you can really feel, you know, back to the whole perspectives. Like, you always want to look in the other person's perspective, because they might mean something a complete like different way, but it's somehow like the way that you mean it, it somehow like intertwines, and it still means the same way. But if you would have actually looked at their perspective and saw where they were coming from, it would have been, oh, so that could have been one less like of an argument. Definitely have to say again, you know, realness and of course being authentic. For sure.
I like it. I'm gonna say something. You guys just finish it off at the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. My name is Nate the Great, and I am a
Entrepreneur.
My name is Daniel Kiani. I'm gonna get that right.
Kiani, yep.
Kiani, and I am a
Dreamer.
boom. And that's what we got, you guys, for another episode of Straight Topics. I want to thank my special guests for
Appreciate you, man.
swinging through. They did drop some gems. Hopefully, you guys pick those up and you run with them yourself. In the meantime, in between time, I've been your host, Jimmy V. Make sure you go check out my store and go support my empire.
Hey.
And if you guys definitely want to reach out, hey, I likes that. Twitter and Instagram at Be Your Own Dad. Go check the blog, beyourowndad.blogspot.com, and see you guys next time.